Okay, you guys, welcome back to Presley's Pod. Happy Sunday. First of all, I would just like to acknowledge the difference between this Sunday and last Sunday, right? And here's the thing, I have a confession to make, okay? I did go outside last night, but why I feel so much better today versus last Sunday is because I went to dinner with a good friend. We sat outside, we ate good food, we were wearing sweatshirts. It was casual. I was home at 9:30. And that to me is truly the perfect evening. And I fear that that's going to be my vibe going into this summer. Addie and Lauren are already extremely upset with me about the fact that I'm not going to go outside this summer. And so they're currently working on turning that around for me. But I fear that I will be sticking to my guns. And I also think I look a little bit better than last Sunday because I do have my hair and makeup done. And that is because now don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me, okay? Wait for it. That is because I do have to go outside tonight, but I don't have to. This is something that I'm very excited to do. It's an event. I bought a ticket, whatever. There's going to be good friends there. Lauren's going to be there, but I do have to go. But here's the thing. Guess what time it starts? It starts at 5:30. I was like, chef's kiss. I plan to arrive at 5:45. I plan to start saying my goodbyes around 7:30, and luckily it is so close to my apartment. I plan to be at home at 7:45. So, that is tonight, and then after that, sayonara. See ya. But last night I feel like we have a lot to discuss today, and we have a lot of reflecting to do on last week's episode. I love having a guest on, but I also love this like intimate moment, just us. And I think this is such a good thing for me because I can hear myself speak and hear what is just, some of the episodes are planned, especially when I have a guest, it's like not really planned. So whatever comes out of my mouth is just my thought or just my thoughts. So hearing what I say and how my brain operates sometimes is very good for me to listen back to that. Anyway, let's just start with the fact that if I hear through the grapevine one more thing about a man saying something mean to one of my friends, I'm literally going to end it all. Like, I'm going to rip someone's head off. So let's just like picture this for a second. My friend is, and I don't want to like get everyone too excited, but maybe she might be coming on the pod sometime soon, okay? My friend has been seeing this guy for a month. he we don't even need to go into the details about him because it doesn't matter. He said to her that her positivity is annoying. He also said some other things that I'm not going to repeat. He said her positivity is annoying, and I'm like, sir, let's just like walk this back for a second, okay? And since he was mean to her, I can be mean to him. Let's walk this back. You're telling this to my stunning, talented, independent, awesome friend. Like, let's just think about this dynamic for a second, especially like for you. Let's just take a look inward and let's just do some self reflection because I don't really want to say it. I really don't, but you were mean to my friend, so now I'm going to come for you. Do you think that you are going to do better than my friend? And the answer is, don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. The answer is probably not. I'm like, sir, this is your chance to level up and like, oh my gosh, wow, you're in the big leagues now. Like, this was your chance and you blew it. You blew it. We're done. Anyway, So, hearing all of this like through the grapevine, it's been a lot of that recently. Like a lot of my friends are single, we're dating, we're going to blah blah blah. And hearing the things and like the way that these men are operating is truly mind blowing. And it makes me think about, staying inside does sound really nice. So last night with my friend, it was such a breath of fresh air because she is in a happy, healthy relationship. I love her so much. I love him so much. I think they're great. It's just like chef's kiss, right? So we're talking about the relationship. Obviously, there's not really any updates. We were talking about his job, like that he's looking to start doing something new, right? We had no gossip to say about this man. And I was just like, thank God. What a relief. They did something a little differently than I think the majority of us are doing when we start to date someone, right? They started dating a while ago. And before that, we all have heard the term slow burn, right? Slow burn, take it slow. What I am like the champion of that, that is what I believe. They took it to like almost a whole nother level. They were such a slow burn that I think they definitely have like the world record for how long it takes to get to where they are now. But it got to a point where we were like, does he just want another friend? Like, what are we doing here? I'm so confused. But they have this insane foundation that they've built. And now they're like, she's like, yeah, we're good. Like, we're good. And I said, huh, interesting. And I think it's this is why it's very good to have a variety of friends and like a variety of stages of their lives, because I start like hearing some of the things that this man's doing for her, and I start like putting the pieces together of like, oh yeah, like you do have it good, obviously. But the more that I hear about these things and the more that I think about like how easy it is and how, especially with access to all of this technology, like for example, she had some sort of work thing, whatever. She tells him about the work thing. 20 minutes later, flowers at her door. He wasn't even in New York City at the time. Flowers at her door, okay? And you don't even need to call a flower shop anymore. You don't need to do that. You can do it on Uber Eats, I'm pretty sure. You can just click, 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 send to the door, done. Like literally, it could probably be there in 10 minutes if you pick a good shop. So, I also think there's something about like the easier that it gets for like men to do things nice for us and show us that they like us and care about us, like the easier that that gets with the way that the world works now and like all, like I said, technology, the more the standards are just going to raise and keep raising. And like the minute that I just keep hearing all these horrible things that other men are doing, I'm just like, nope, raising them higher, raising them higher every single time. So honestly, maybe like shout out to all of the bad men because you're gonna get weeded out very quickly when it comes to me. Anyway, so I listening back to last week's episode, I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely fear change. And I don't fear change when it comes to work because I have like shoot for the stars goals when it comes to work. And I'm hoping to land somewhere along there, up there, whatever. But when it comes to my personal life, definitely, I think we all clocked last week that there's some sort of fear of change. And I think it's because I've done such a good job of creating great relationships with the people in my life. Like I put in the work to have great friendships with people, and I put in the work to make sure that we all see each other. And my friends that don't live here, like we FaceTime and we catch up and I like we're on a schedule. And something that someone said about, I remember Lauren ran into one of my friends and she told Lauren, "Oh, Presley's really great at like making and keeping friends." And I was like, "Yes." So, I pour so much into that and I love what I've created. But here's the thing, after the episode with Sean, last time, when the cameras went off, I started to think about like, well, do I want to be single forever? Probably not. But here's the thing, I have no, like, I'm so good with my life that I have no need for someone else to come in and be a boyfriend or be a partner or whatever. Like, I am so, so good without that and I don't need it. So the person that does come in and is going to like enter my life, I have the luxury of making sure that all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and that when we decide to go for it, like, we're good to go. But here's the thing, you have to jump off into the deep end eventually, right? Like, you can't try to make sure that all of this is perfect and like everything's going to be okay and like nothing bad's going to happen, and then you jump off. Like, at some point you got to jump. But for me, I love a slow burn and I love taking the time to do that. So I'm trying to work on finding the balance, because the last relationship that I was in, I was so proud of myself for taking the leap. I jumped right off the high dive and I was like, sure, let's go, whatever. The next morning, I woke up and I had like that, like, gut intuition that something was off, that something just didn't feel right. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm nervous. Like, I have a boyfriend now. It's so weird. But not that I wish I went with that feeling and I was like, oh, never mind, because obviously that gave me my first like adult relationship, that gave me a lot of learning. I had a lot of learning to do and lessons to learn. I don't know. But part of me is like, I don't want to wake up with that feeling again. But here's the thing, if you suddenly feel like something's off and you don't want to be a part of a situation anymore, like, you have the power to end it. You can't end it. In that moment, I could have been like, never mind. But I was like, no, this is good for me to jump off the high dive. And you never want to go into a situation kind of with that mentality of like, well, if it doesn't go well, I can always end it, because you just want to like, you don't want to be thinking about the end when you go into something. But that also does provide some sort of comfort of, yeah, if this person changes or if things change or if it starts to not work, like, you can end it. You can get out of there. Like, you have the power to do that. So that's providing me a little bit more comfort of like, okay, I definitely need to. I heard what Sean said. We had a follow up after. I definitely can work on having some more spon I can't even say the word because I don't want it. I could definitely work on being a little bit more like spontaneous, as long as it maybe happens within the comfort of these walls pre 9 p.m. Last week I said 10 p.m. I'm out of there. Not anymore. It's a 9 p.m. curfew this summer for Presley. You will not see me out, okay? I think that's like when the sun starts going down. Me on the rooftop bar, when the sun starts going down, I'm like, yep, Uber's called. Off she goes to bed. So I truly think that, like, when you're thinking about friends and relationships and you're like trying to navigate all of that and you can see it so clearly that this is definitely not the person that they should be with, it's hard, right? It's so hard because you don't know it while you're in it. We've all had that experience where you're like, the signs were pointing to the exit, like red, red, red flags, go to the exit. And while you're in it, you just have like this weird, you're like under a spell, honestly. So I made some notes for this next section. So please excuse me if I take a peep down at my computer, just because I sat and I thought about it for a while. And I want to make sure that I say what I was thinking about. So part of me is like, if someone is telling you about these horrible things that a man is doing or their relationships, whatever, And you're like, your follow up is, okay, so like, why are you dating this man? Or why are you even willing to? Again, this will be the grave that I die on. In the first month, if he's being mean to you and you're fighting and it's not going well, literally bye. Like, it's the first month, it's only going to get worse from there. We also are, who knows what you're dealing with, but like my friends and I, we have no like, no kids, no like there's no like other, what am I even saying? I'm just getting so mad. I'm literally seeing red. Like, our lives are very simple right now. So the minute that you're going to start adding all of that to your life with a man and he's already literally treating you like trash, then no. Anyway, so if you're in one of these situations, it's like, okay, why are you staying? Why? Like, you don't have to do any of this. Like, you can leave. And I think it's because women settle for like mediocre or bad men because they haven't done the work to believe in themselves that they deserve more. If you're like constantly at war with your brain and you're constantly beating yourself down and you haven't found that like sense of being good on your own, you're going to settle for a man that also treats you like that. You're going to say, oh yeah, this feels normal, because this is what I deserve, because I think I'm X, Y, and Z, and I'm, not X, Y, and Z. So I deserve someone like this. And you're like, this is the best that I'm going to get. So I might as well just stick around. But when you know your worth and you've done the work to be good by yourself, it is so much easier to cut off someone's BS. It's literally like, bye, easy. Like, the minute that someone starts to show you that they're not going to treat you how you deserve to be treated, you can say, yeah, bye, because I know that I'm going to find someone else. Easy. Well, easier said than done, right? So I feel like that goes into a whole nother conversation of, I think that there are men out there that prey on our insecurities, truly. Like, they can clock the insecurities and they can feel that power in the relationship because they know that you're insecure, and they know that however they treat you, you will stay because they know that they have you, because they know that you don't think that you deserve someone better. So he can be, I don't can't think of a better word than like, not nice. He can act that way to you because he knows that he has you, and he knows that you're not going to leave. And then the thing is, these men tell their friends their relationship stuff and the way that they treat women, and then like we're all screwed. We're all screwed because now the word's gotten around that it's like okay to treat someone like that, and it's okay to behave in a certain way. And we, as women, like, we have to start putting a stop to these things, truly. Like, I'm telling you guys, the minute that someone starts acting in a way that you're not comfortable with, or that you're like, this is definitely not going to be my person, it's only going to get worse down the line. So I also think that there's a whole nother side of this too, of whenever I hear, and my friends and I have talked about this, and I think this is why we get along so well, because we're girls, and our lives aren't like centered around finding a man. The minute that a man says anything about like a crazy ex or whatever, I'm like, well, you probably did something to her to cause her to actually go insane. So let's just like take a step back. And I think that I will always side with the woman in any sort of situation like this, right? If, just because, like, even when someone can't quite figure out how to get out of something that's not serving them, or they can't quite figure out how to like end it with a man that is not treating someone well, society literally tells, we are conditioned from children that we are not good enough. Like, society tells us that we are not pretty enough, that we're not skinny enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're never going to make enough, like, enough money, that we're like, we are conditioned from day one to believe these things about ourselves. So then when a man comes along and he's saying the same things to you, you're like, yeah, that tracks, because this is what I've been told ever since I was 5 years old, whatever. And I think we deserve, like, we accept this bare minimum behavior, obviously, because we think that we deserve it. And so you have to learn how to have your own back in these situations. And I think this is why good girlfriends come along. And I have told my friends multiple times. There was one moment with my ex that a friend was like, hey, I just want to check in. Like, are you sure that this is your, that like you're good? And, and I really wish in that moment I like opened my ears a little bit more. I know that they say as girls, you're not supposed to say anything. It's like you drop it, whatever. But I think there's a way that you can say it and you can go about it. Obviously, you can't like bring it up every single day because no man is worth like ruining a friendship, but there is a way that you can tread lightly and you can be like, hey, by the way, and tread lightly. I mean, I have told all of my friends, literally every single one of my friends, I'm like, if I start falling for someone that's treating me like this, like, you literally have permission to punch me in the face. Even last night at dinner, I was like, if I start acting like this, tell me this restaurant outside and then literally punch me in the face. Because it's so easy to get swept up into it. And like, I never blame the woman, but you have to learn how to have your own back and be good by yourself, because picking your partner could like literally alter the course of your life. It could ruin your life if you pick a bad partner. Literally ruin your life. So I know that was kind of a lot. And obviously, I get very heated about this because you just want to shake people sometimes. But I do think as women, like, we have to be there for each other, and we have to learn to stick up for ourselves, and we have to learn that we deserve more. We do. Like, we are all on it, living our lives, like doing the thing. Like, we deserve someone that's going to champion us, and someone that's going to be a partner, and someone that we can trust, that's going to have our backs. Like, I think you have to find that partner is such a key word, because you're going to be partners in life. There can't be any sort of like he's above you dynamic, he controls you, because that's not a partner at all. Whew, wow. I could go on and on. So, um, my dating update of the week is that the 26-year-old and I are still like, we're going strong. It, I don't really have much else to say. I know that he listens to this, so shout out. I think we're seeing each other next week, but we're still going strong. So I'm trying to go like this and just see what happens, and see, we're slow burn, slow burn. And to finish this week's episode, my hot take of the week is, if you're talking to a man and he has either no friends or one friend, literally run. Literally put on the Nikes and run, because that is not a good sign that he does not have like good guy friends in his life. You gotta make sure that he's having, granted, he can have thousands of friends, they can all be horrible men, but you want to make sure that he's got a good core group around him, because if he doesn't, that, who's he talking to? TikTok, the internet. Like, you need to make sure that the guys around him, that he has a few, first of all, because my friends and I have come across some that don't have any, and you're like, well, that's got to be a red flag. Why does no one want to be friends with you? Interesting. So you got to make sure that there's a good group of guys around him. Anyway, I hope that everyone has a great Sunday. I'm going to continue working on going like this, and I'm going to maybe take a dip outside. I'm coming back on the idea of not going outside at all. I'm thinking maybe we find the happy medium of a 9 p.m. Maybe like 9 p.m. I start to call it quits. Maybe I'm more of like a happy hour girly this summer because it'll be cheaper and it'll be kind of hot. It's okay. I think I'm catch me at a happy hour, okay? And then home by it's gonna be perfect. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great, great Sunday, and I will see you all next week. Bye.